Welcome all of you. My name is Dr. Mohammad Fiaz from University of Education, Digika campus. Today we will cover the most important element in agriculture system, that is biological control. Biological control or biocontrol is a method of controlling pests such as insects, mites, weeds and plant diseases using other organisms. To illustrate the example of biological control, I have installed an LED screen for you guys. Here you can see a ladybird beetle is feasting herself with aphids, and you all know aphids are pests of plants and cause huge damage. Let's talk about history of biological control. The first scientist we will cover is Asa Fitch. He is the first entomologist in 1855 who seriously considered transfer of beneficial insects from one area to another area. Another scientist is Louis Pasteur, 1865, who studied silkworm diseases and saved the silk industry. The third one is Harry Scott Smith, who was the first scientist using the term classical biological program at the 1919 meeting of the Pacific Slope branch of American Association of Economic Entomologists, California. The biological application is mainly introduced to reduce the population of a pest and to reduce pest-free yields. It is a self-sustaining and long-term treatment method for managing invasive plants. The living organism applied in this system is used to suppress a weed infestation and to control pests, including insects, pathogens, and grazing animals. Those living organisms used to suppress or kill other harmful organisms are called biocontrol agents, like predators, parasites, and pathogens. We will shortly discuss all of these biocontrol agents in our upcoming slides. Predators are mainly large number of free living species that directly consume the large number of prey during lifetime. For example, ladybird beetles and their larvae are active between May and July and consume mites and caterpillars. Predators are large and stronger than prey. Predators usually eat several prey in their lifetime. For example, Chrysoperla carnea is known as the common green lacewing is an insect in the Chrysopidae family. Although the adult feed on the nectar, pollen and aphid honeydew, but the larvae are active predators and feed on aphids and other small insects. Parasites usually lay their eggs on or in the body of insect host, which is then used as food for developing larvae. Then host is ultimately killed. Some characters of the parasites includes parasites are smaller than their host and they kill only one host in their entire life. They are specialized host feeder, mean they will not attack any other pest other than their targeted pest. The examples include ichneumoniid wasps, which use caterpillars as their host, and Incarcia formosa, which is a parasite on whitefly. Pathogens are microorganisms which include bacteria, fungi, and viruses. They kill the host and their relatively host species. The examples include bacteria like Bacillus thuringiensis, viruses, and fungi. Some bacteria like Bt is successfully used against moths, butterflies, beetles, and true flies. Some viruses like baculoviruses are also used against gypsy moth. Fungi like entomopathogenic fungi is also used against insects as biological control program. Biological control is a component of integrated pest management strategy. The reduction of pest populations by natural enemies and typically involves an active human role. Keep in mind that all insect species are also suppressed by natural occurring organisms and environmental factors with no human input. This is frequently referred to as natural control rather than biological control. A successful natural enemy should have a high reproductive rate, good searching ability, host specificity, be adaptable to different environmental conditions, and be synchronized with its host, that is usually a pest. A high reproductive rate is important so that populations of the natural enemy can rapidly increase when hosts are available. The natural enemy must be effective at searching for its host, and it should be searching for only one or few host species. Spiders, for example, feed on many different hosts, including other natural enemies. It is also very important that the natural enemy occur at the same time as its host. For example, if the natural enemy is an egg parasite, it must be present when host eggs are available. No natural enemy has all these attributes, but those with several characteristics will be more important in helping maintaining pest populations. There are three broad and somewhat overlapping types of biological control program, which include importation, augmentation, and conservation. We will discuss the first point, importation. It involves the introduction of a pest's natural enemies to a new locale where they do not occur naturally. For example, one of the earliest successes in the West was controlling Iceria purchasii, cottony cushion scale in Australia, using predatory insect Rhodolia cardonalis, Vodalia beetle, which is also called. Many commercial insectaries rear and market a variety of natural enemies, including predaceous mites, lady beetles, lacewings, praying mantids, and several species of parasites. Success with such releases require appropriate timing. The host must be present or the natural enemy will simply die or leave the area. And release of the correct number of natural enemies per unit area, which is also called a release rate. In many cases, the most effective release rate has not been identified as it will vary depending upon crop type and target host density. Augmentation involves the supplemental release of natural enemies. Relatively few natural enemies may be released at a critical time of the season. which is also called inoculative release, or literally millions may be released, which is called inundative release. Additionally, the cropping system may be modified to favor or augment the natural enemies. This latter practice is frequently referred to as habitat manipulation. Periodic releases of the parasites, like in Quercia formosa, are used to control greenhouse whitefly, and the predaceous mite is used to control of the two-spotted spider mite. Lady beetles, lacewings, or parasites such as trichogramma are frequently released in a large number in the field. Recommended release rates for trichogramma in vegetable or field crops range from 5,000 to 200,000 per acre per week, depending upon the level of pest infestation. Similarly, entomopathogenic nematodes are released at rates of millions and even billions per acre for the control of certain soil dwelling insect pests. The conservation of natural enemies is probably the most important and readily available biological control practice. It is the implementation of practice that maintain and enhance the reproduction, survival, and efficacy of natural enemies, which are usually predators, parasites, and pathogens of pests. Natural enemies are important in regulating populations of many agricultural and forest insect pests. So let's talk about some advantages or disadvantages of. First of all, we will discuss about the disadvantages. The predator we introduce may not eat the pest rather than eating non-target pests. Also, it is quite unusual that sometimes predator eat a useful species as well. The predator population may increase and get out of control. Another point, the predator may not stay in the area where it is needed. Another point is long research phase is required before application of biological control agents to release in the field. Also, it is not guaranteed that biological control program will always work. If implemented in the field, then there is no way we can stop this program. Like in other control programs, like in chemical control, if we have implemented and after a certain period of time, after a few minutes, we want to stop, we can stop the control. But in this program, biological control program, we cannot stop. However, this program also has some advantages, like biological control program requires less cost as compared to other agrochemicals, pesticides, and insecticides, which are usually included in chemical control program. It is believed that if released and inspect regularly, the biological control program has the potential to be permanent control program in that area. The biological control agents are environmentally friendly and cause no side effect. Biological control agents are believed to be host specific. Like some parasites are host specific, they will attack only particular pest. Also, their biological control agents are easily available, easy to use, and is effective throughout the season. It helps in reducing the use of chemicals and other pesticides. So in the last, I'm going to show you a marvelous 3-minute video of ladybird beetle hatching from the egg, eating different harmful insects and becoming the adult. Yes, on my LED plasma TV. So please buckle up